Alright, so this is my wife's car that I got her. It's a 1991 Chevy Sprint convertible with a turbo 1.0 liter swapped into it. It's a manual 5-speed. This year alone, technically this is the third motor in this vehicle, and I feel like a piece because I blew it up on her. So near the end of summer, she had no convertible to drive. Felt really bad. So what happened is the ring lands let go in second cylinder. I know that because we scoped inside. Still runs, only on 2 cylinders, and smokes out the whole road. Anyway, not doing any wrenching today. Just wanted to show the car a little bit. I really like driving it. It's a fun car, very zippy. It has stock motor, stock fuel system. Some things I can mention. It's got an aftermarket exhaust manifold, and it has an Eagle Talon automatic turbocharged front wheel drive turbo on it. I can't remember the code for the turbo, but it's the smallest DSM turbo that was put into the Eagle Talons. It makes, just off the top of the gate, is 8.2 pounds, which I think is 2 pounds higher than factory. It's got, I believe that this was 3-Tech's advancement cam. So it has 6 degrees of timing mechanically. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. MSD coil. It's got upper strut brace, and it's got a 2-point lower brace. Can't remember the brand name. Let's see what it is here. Ultra Racing. Torn apart a little bit because I was trying to reroute the battery to the back and then routed it back to the front for racing purposes since I didn't have it mounted. And at the local drag strip, they require it to be mounted. GT steering wheel. It's got the turbo cluster in there. It's got wideband.com wideband gauge and boost gauge. When it blew up, we ended up turning it up to about 9 pounds of boost, and when we were on the highway, she let go, turned into a Harley Davidson, limped it home, lost about 3 quarts of oil on the way home. It's got the Suzuki Swift foldable mirrors, the turbo 3-cylinder seats. A difference that I found between the factory seats and these seats is these seats sit a lot higher. So if you're a tall person, I do not recommend putting hatchback seats into your convertible, because basically how I have to drive it is with the roof off, or down, sorry. I will be doing some work to this car soon here. I'm going to be pulling the head off the motor to make sure that the head is still okay. If not, we're going to have to put another one on. And we're going to see how bad the block is. We're hoping we only need to dingleberry it. If not, we'll be sourcing out another motor. It's got 13-inch Eagle alloys on Cooper Cobra radials. Size is, let's see if we can find it here. Right here, 205 60 13. It's a good size. This motor here is another 1-liter turbocharged. This one I had machined out to a 1.6 liter piston out of a Suzuki Vitara, which I believe is the same as a Geo Tracker. We got the low compression pistons in there. I have a head that's being sent off to a guy to get it all done up, and we're going to put on this. I'm hoping to make about 200 horsepower out of this motor. So it's 100 horsepower per liter, as these would make about, if I'm not wrong, about 65 to 70 horsepower bone stock. This car, when I raced at SR, the first time that I took it down, I had a bad clutch in it. And with that bad clutch, I think I ran a 17 because it slipped so hard in between gears. And the funny thing is, after I fixed it and put a brand spanking new clutch in this thing for her, I was like, oh, kind of excited to see if I can beat my time. Took it back to the racetrack. And first run, first gear was pulling so hard. I was starting to catch up to my buddy in a Chevy Sonic. And then I slammed her right back in the first gear. Now, I didn't over rev the motor. What happened was it just locked up and it skipped the front tires. I have a video of it here. I'll probably show it up right after. But what happened was, when it hopped, the actuator for the turbocharger slammed into the frame there. And when it did that, it bent the bracket and pushed the wastegate open so it wouldn't boost higher than 2 pounds. So after I checked over everything before making my next pass, making sure everything was okay, I didn't wreck anything, I didn't know about the bent wastegate actuator. So I lined it back up, raced my buddy again, had a good launch, and I didn't miss any gear, but there was just no power. I didn't know what was going on. I thought my intake tube or something popped off and I was just running without boost. But the gauge was showing about 2 to 3 pounds. And yeah, so there's not making any boost, and I looked over it and I kept looking to see if any of the tubes popped off. Couldn't find anything, so finally hit my head to check the actuator, and I took a pair of vice grips and bent her back until she made normal boost again. Didn't have a problem. And then once we put on this $2 piece that likes to blow up motors on and made another pound, motor gave up, stock bottom end, and that's when I started feeling like a piece. But I'm hoping to get her up and running soon here. I think in a few days here I'm going to pull the motor apart and actually get a good look at it and see what we can do. And soon, about hope in December, that motor is going to be together and we can start throwing in the hatchback. The motor with the 1.6 liter pistons I'm building is for this car. I ended up acquiring it from an old friend that passed away, and I want to build it almost like how he had it. It's not in the best shape right now, but I'm hoping to bring it back to what it used to be. And my little area of Suzuki product. Wanted to check out the Samurai quickly before everything started freezing over, but it started snowing recently, so I ended up overheating the thing and losing all my coolant, but I can't remember if I used coolant or water last time. Oh, there's green. Good job, Kevin. Actually putting the right stuff in. is my 1988 Suzuki Samurai. It's on a SPOA lift. And got 31s on it. Got some Suzuki Swift GT seats in it. Good old Tim's over there. Broke the back vinyl there winter last year. Both my door handles broke and I couldn't get in. I had to get something out of it. I bought these metal door handles during that time after. First time I used it. That was beauty. Thing flexes really good, really fun to drive. This is just an extra vehicle I have laying around. If my GT gets smoked or something, maybe I'll just swap everything to this one, because my GT is just a Firefly. This one used to be a turbo car as well. It was swapped out, but all the stuff from this went to the convertible. There's a tranny left in there. This one, I'm going to be running on a Mega Squirt system. Hopefully going to be running, like I said, a roughly 200 horsepower. Might be up about 20-ish pounds of boost eventually. I think going to start it at 15. And yeah, so there's my little fleet of vehicles. I have my GT, which isn't back here right now, but it's a Pontiac Firefly with a dual vert cam, 4-cylinder, 1.3 liter. It runs great. Bounce that thing off the rev limiter all the time.